place with Doctor Who now. I think that's where we got to start off. We're in an interesting place with Doctor Who, and I think we've proven it's categorically so the Ncuti Gatwa Rusty Davies queer era, right? Because it was queer right from Starbase, right? The queer era is qualitatively better, and those words I didn't expect to come out of my mouth are qualitatively better than the Jodie Whittaker era, right? I think we've scientifically proven that. But how? How have we scientifically proven that? Well, tonight I have to tell you, aside from some I would call weak writing that gave very obvious plot holes, and there was quite a lot of that actually, and it's just like, and it could have been, they didn't need to be there, right? And of course, the drag factor that is Ncuti Gatwa. Right, I finally worked out how this terrible performance of Doctor Who came about. Right, it was Rusty Davies the other day, right? And he was talking about Ncuti crying, and they asked him, "Was that scripted?" He's like, "No, Ncuti did that." And when you have genius like that at work, you don't want to stop him. Dad, this is basically Ncuti Gatwa being a 2025 version of Quentin Crisp, like super camp, and Rusty is, well, I don't know, people can just worry about it like that's as normal as anything else. No, it fucking isn't, Russell. Right? It doesn't work. I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't work at all. Right? And like makes the character lack mystery. It's like a very bad idea, like a very bad idea. I mean, honestly, could you imagine if you go back in time? Right, I go back in time to my 1983 self, right? My 1983 self, I say, you want to know how awesome the future is? Firstly, look at all the shit we got. This isn't a set. This is like your life. I mean, oh, I don't know what a lot that is, but it all looks good. Oh, yeah, I'll be really excited about that. This will be my future, right? I'll say, it's even better than that, right? It's even better than that. You have a very, very accurate Nicola Bryant Perry figure. I'm like, what? That you can, yes, but it's even better than that. How's it even better than that? You have another very accurate Nicola Bryant figure. Ah, that's how awesome the future is. However, there is the dark storm cloud of the future, where after a frankly atrocious era of Doctor Who, where it hemorrhaged ratings and became a laughingstock, right, and just failed in every way because they cast somebody to play Doctor Who who's super not qualified to play it, so they didn't know what to do, right? And they didn't understand the role. You can really okay. How do you understand the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who? It's like it's a dumb chick trying to understand Doctor Who. So she this is how she understands it, so she can play it, right? So she can play it. She just didn't understand it, right? And she couldn't understand it. Like she couldn't understand that the sonic screwdriver wasn't a magic, was it? Oh, you just go working it around like, oh, it keeps up, right? And she couldn't understand why that didn't work, right? You understand why that? No, couldn't pull that one together. But the Ncuti Gatwa era is qualitatively different, right? I would say it's but it's the exact same. Oh yeah, I'm telling my youngsters. Yeah, so after that era, they say, oh, they bring back a guy who made the bestest, Doctor Who that you just loved, right? You absolutely adored that Doctor Who. So I was like, oh, I bet it's going to be good. Yeah, and then they decided for the Doctor, their main actor. I mean, after bringing back an old beloved Doctor and then having him be shouted at by a man in a dress saying, how dare you not intimate somehow you think I might be a bloke just because I have a pee-pee. And the Supreme Court says that I'm a bloke. Okay, just why? Right. How dare you? You know, a male presenting Time Lord. What does male presenting me, you dumb fuck? Oh, fuck me. Oh, yeah, honestly. So yeah, I'm trying to explain it to my 12-year-old self. Yeah, why don't we play Doctor Who as like, one of those most annoying gay bloke you ever met, right? Who thinks he's fucking awesome and everybody loves him and nobody does. That's how they play Doctor Who. I know. That being said, that drag factor being recognized, and a poor script with many plot holes. When I say it's a poor script, if a plot hole occurs to me while I'm watching it and it takes me out of it, I think that's a poor script. All right, and they were very obvious plot holes. It was actually a good episode, best episode since what's it called again? What's Capaldi's last episode? Not World Enough in Time, not The Doctor Falls. It was the one after that. Twice Upon a Time. Hands down. It's not even close, right? It's not even close. It's the best episode since Twice Upon a Time. And that's quite a long time ago now, right? I mean, what was that, 2016, 2017? That's clocking on. That is a long time ago. So it's a bit. It's somewhat amazingly an unpretentious episode. In like it's very modern Who, right? It certainly wouldn't. You have some episodes of Doctor Who that you can like reimagine in classic Who, right? I mean, funnily enough, I also thought that way about the what was it the Witch's Apprentice? Was it the Witch's Familiar and the Psychic Apprentice? The Wizard's Apprentice, the Witch's Familiar, something like that. That Dalek two-parter. I could really see that as a John Pertwee Delgado story, right? Can you just imagine John Pertwee being introduced in the beginning of the season, coming on a tank, playing a guitar, looking like Jimi Hendrix? That would be fucking awesome. Wearing shades. I mean, I can imagine that. I think I do. That's why I always liked it when I saw Capaldi do it, right? But it just in your mind's eye, imagine John Pertwee do it. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I liked it when it happened, right? I like Capaldi though. What do you want me to tell you? I liked him in Dark Mirror. The last I thought that was really good. I'm surprised I didn't realize Netflix has games, right? And they got the game that was in Dark Mirror, his episode, as a game you can play. I'm like, oh, I'll give that a go. That sounds fun. Nobody has any games on phones anymore. Remember Angry Birds? Right? Nobody thinks about that shit anymore. And there's nothing came along to replace it. I guess we got too sucked into social media. Yeah, fuck me. That's the sign of the power of social media, that we forgot games. But yeah, a very well-directed episode. I was very well-directed. Very spooky. It's not a million miles away from the horror of Fang Rock, right? It's got that sort of. I mean, it's not based on the Siege sort of thing. I don't know. Is it? Not really. It's the horrors from within. A very intelligent use of what's her name? Rose Ailing, whatever her name is, the deaf actress. Okay, but I want to say brass tacks though, right? And no one's going to be prepared to admit this. I bet there's a significant part of the viewing public, which isn't very big anymore, right? That when they struggle to understand what she's saying, which I did, right? I paused things and went back and put the subtitles on. Because I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? Right? I only had to do that once or twice. But like, here's the thing. Anybody who's worked in sales knows this, or anybody who's worked in fundraising knows this. You want to put the minimum barriers, the absolute minimum barriers up between you and the sale, right? Between you and people only going through with whatever it is you want them to do. right? You want to put the minimum barriers up, and that's a barrier, right? I'm sorry to tell you it's a barrier. Yeah, I mean, I understand that's not our best nature. But oh well, somebody else liked on Facebook. Hey, more people like on Facebook. That's cool. I've never been liked on Facebook before. I mean, like, you know, metaphysically or you know, actually, as we hear. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was okay. The difference between this and Nabil Shabana's Sil, right? Sil wasn't written with in mind they would have some actor with some, you know, I don't even know what the politically correct term is. Disfiguration. I don't want to be a dick to him at all, right? Actually, I do, because he's like literally, he's contacted people about me personally and said my boys are in the army. Yeah, they are, and they're going to come and assassinate him or other. I'm like, why? Why, Nabil? Why would they do like really? Firstly, they're not high enough up to do that, right? And secondly, you're not important enough. So, you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of you're a low priority target from, like, you know, people who are not elevated to ranks of assassins. Oh, I feel bad for my son. I think he went back into Gaza today on Sabbath, and the reason I feel bad for him, it's just so boring, right? It's just so boring, you know, because you can't play on your phone or anything. You're just like sat. You know, you got maybe bring something to read with you, but oh, yeah, I tell you, the reward in heaven he gets for keeping Sabbath in those circumstances, I think is remarkable, right? I'm very. That's always been him though. He is tough as nails, that kid. There's also been a real sweetie as well. He's very much like his name, right? He's like his name is Ariel, which means lion, right? And he could be, yeah, his nature is like a small stuffed cuddly lion. Like imagine if, what's the name of that cartoon strip? Calvin Hobbes from Calvin and Hobbes was a lion instead of a tiger. That sort of like cute little lion, right? But yeah, he can be the real type as well. Anyway, God bless him. Anyway, I'm talking about this episode of The World. So, very good use of it. Okay, so yeah, so they did Nabil Shaban, and I don't think Sil was written for, you know, an actor with that kind of, you know, physical, you know, presence. I think they thought John Nathan Turner was. I think it's brilliant casting, right? I think John Nathan Turner was fucking brilliant for casting Nabil Shaban as Sil. I mean, that I've never thought about that before. I really got to look into how that happened. But yeah, that does feel like a John Nathan Turner idea, right? And he's like, oh yeah, get it. And it's not. So that feels just genuinely earned, right? Whereas this feels it was written to make a point about to be inclusive to deaf people, right? Which I'm not opposed to, right? Honestly, I'm not opposed to. I'm like, no, deaf people, you can fuck right off. I'll be like, no, more the merrier. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, but it feels a bit patronizing for it, right? I think that's where I am. It feels a little bit patronizing. But look, I'm focusing on all the downsides. It was a good episode. I'm telling you, it was a good, creepy episode. Shooty was, well, you know, excruciating at many points during it. Yes. That's life with Shooty. Excruciating at many points. He was his most restrained I've seen him, which, thank God. I guess he restrained himself. Oh, yeah. So I was saying, how did he start and he does have a cry this week as well. How did the cry start? Yeah, Russell even said, oh, it looked fantastic. Right? No, Russell. Here's what this production needs, right? Somebody, and I will do the job as long as the pay is good, with a sock full of human excrement, right? A sock, right? And you twizzle it around. And when Russell comes up with an idea like that, he goes, bam, in the face, you know? And I mean, don't hurt him. It's just to smash human excrement into his face. Bam, into his face. No, Russell. No. Bad idea. But I want to do Walking Dallas. No. 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 That's what Russell needs. Somebody go, no. Right? Maybe a rolled up newspaper might do the trick. I don't know. But that's what he needs. But I don't say that people in wheelchairs are evil. You're not. Nobody thought that until you said it. There's a great clip in TED where they're talking about opening a bar and letting Jews in, right? And said, yeah, and we're just not going to mention it. It's just going to be fine. No, and like, but why are you bringing it up? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be like. It's like that. It's a bit like that. Being said, it's a. I see casting a deaf person, having a deaf person at the core of this story. I think that's probably where the story started. And my guess is, I think it would have started with the new writer, what's her name, who did not embarrass herself with the script, even though the script had weaknesses. That did not come over as a diversity hire, right? But I reckon she had that germ of idea that connecting the creature from Midnight, which is a very audio creature, to somebody who's deaf, is interesting. The execution of it is, but it's also a very good spooky story. It's very similar. I think that it borrows heavily from things like Event Horizon. Yeah, I think that's fair. It borrows very heavily from things like that. Again, that's for me. That's the problem with Doctor Who in general. Doctor Who really needs to be setting the trends rather than following them. Yeah, you can see all the money it had poured into it. Like you see, like these sets look incredible and expensive, right? So but then I can't help thinking. I mean, they're literally set in like it's a mining base. Like it would have been as good in one of those like nuclear power stations they used in Blake 7, right? It really would have been as good. It's so I don't think it's money well spent, frankly. Let's get to the chat before I get to the actual episode. 1 second. Doink. Yeah, let me get the thumbnail. Oh, we like a bit of thumbnail. She cried. Share screen. Doink. Will this episode do as badly as the other two? No, it's got Rose Ailing Ellis in it, and she's deaf. So if you criticize it anyway, you're an evil bigot. Yeah, there is a bit of that going on. There is a bit of like, you can't criticize this, you big. And thankfully, it's the best episode they've done. So yeah, why is this qualitatively better than Jodie? Because it took 20 episodes before they could do something that looked and felt basically like competent Doctor Who to a normie with an atrocious lead that didn't work in any way, shape, or form. Right? I would say that is true of the later Jodie era. Right? Flux and I mean, the Legend of the Sea Devils, they really didn't want to do. They just didn't want to do. They took the budget from from the Power of the Doctor to that. And also they cut the budget of the Christmas one, Eve of the Daleks, in half. Right? So maybe they had to make the Christmas. Yeah, I think they had to make the budget for the Christmas special, that they made it into two specials, right? So you did get a feeling there was a lot of them being very huffed and pissed off with the Legend of the Sea Devils, which was shit. But okay, I think like Power of the Doctor is the culmination, like much in the same way that Talons of Weng Chiang is a culmination of the Hinchcliffe Holmes Doctor Who. I think Power of the Doctor is the culmination of the Chibnall Whittaker Doctor Who. Right, and it's the one where they got it most right, essentially by sidelining the Doctor as much as humanly possible. But it starts off right with quite a good pastiche on a action adventure thing, which will be something from the Matt Smith era, right? So it did very positive. I like the use of Sidemen. I like Sacha Dhawan as a master. I liked the Rasputin dance. I thought that was awesome. Okay, I would have liked that in any era, right? I like Capaldi on the tank. Okay, I like that a lot. I liked him becoming the Doctor. Right, I bet what was the drawback? Jodie fucking Whittaker, right? Oh, there's no polishing that turd, and it's the same with Judy Gatwa, right? It really is. There's no way. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There's really There's no making it better. Like, this is his best he's done, in my opinion, right? And it's still, it's like, there's several several cringe moments in this, which whatever. We'll talk about them in a minute. But like, it took the Chibnall era 20 episodes before they could make a pastiche of Doctor Who that kind of felt that way to a normie who wasn't really watching, right? It took the queer era. Are you going to count the specials? Yeah, I guess you got to. I'm sorry. I was going to say 8 episodes. Only took them 12 episodes to work out how to do it, right? I think that's fair. Because I will say, of the 3 episodes we've seen this year, they've all been largely competent. You got the Robot Revolution was fucked beyond belief by making it like an anti-white man, working class white man story. But there's a lot about it that was good. A lot about that was Judy Gatwa. Yeah, and I'll say the same thing with the one last week with the Mr. Ring-a-Ding. Right, there's a lot about it that was good, but you got Judy Gatwa, right? It's like there's no polishing that turd, right? It's just never gonna work. She gets better and better by the week by Verada Seethu, right? She deserves, I know, big time success. I mean, like she's really good. I'm surprised how good she is, and she's very sexy. But yeah, she's really good. Far more better than Judy Gatwa. A lot of range as an actor. You feel empathetic towards her, which is good. That's what you want. She's very good, right? I feel bad. Like Sacha Dhawan in the Jodie era, I feel bad they were dumped in this shitstorm, right? But she deserves like a huge career, right? I would love to see her. What sci-fi thing would I like to see a headline? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Laser Razor? She'll be pretty darn good as Laser Razor. Right? What's her name? Like Laser Razor and Press Button. Who would you get to be Press Button? I don't know. There's so many we could get. What other comic character? What franchise would I like to see a headline? That's interesting. I have to think about that. Like, I don't know. Venus Blue Jeans, maybe from 2000 AD. But she's good. Okay, genuinely, she's she brings a lot of class and quality to this production. I can see why I can see why she got the job. I think she probably got the job because they saw she was available and worked with her as they got really nervous about Millie Gibson. All right. And I think if she wasn't there being as good as she was in Boom, right? Which, again, I thought was a shit episode. Right? I really do. Again, this year, the 3 episodes have been better than anything they've done before. Right? Really, very surprisingly qualitatively better. Right? Which it breaks my heart because this is the end. I mean, they're not. Like, what's the overnight's going to be for this? I don't know. which is a shame, really, because it's quite a good episode. I'll tell you this, I think the overnights are going up next week because this was a good episode. Right? I really do. I really do. Anyway, let's get to chat. OG is here. If you don't learn sign language, we're criminals. Only if you're a nurse. Shooty thinks he's in some gay Starship Troopers porn. Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. That does sum up his performance. An unnecessary sequel. I think so. I think the sequel happened is because the new writer had the idea. Because I think having her being deaf plays very well into that creature. Right? Just so much of it is clunky. Just honestly, Rusty Davis is done. He's tired. See, that's that. I found all of his scripts to feel very tired with and that's why there's so much wokeness in them, right? Much like the violence in 85, right? In Colin Baker's, only full season. It's because the violence and this gratuitous sex was also, I think, there to fill up the void left in creativity. Right, and that's why I think, generally speaking, don't think it worked. But I think his wokeness is filling up his emptiness of creativity. PD Richards here. Thank God I didn't watch that. It's not worth it. I couldn't recommend it. Right. Darren M is here. You doing, Darren M? Thank you for joining us. Kevin Fears, my 7-year-old grandson has just started the 9th Doctor era. I'm so such a good time. Oh, gas! You got to watch it with him. Oh, you've got to watch it with him. It's such a great age to watch that with. Oh, I got this. A neighbor of mine lives across the street. It's a single mother, and I've known her since she was little, right? Really, really good, nice person, right? And she's got, she's a single mother. She's got this really cute little kid. I can't wait till he's old enough till I can start showing. I really want to start showing him Thunderbirds now. I keep sending it to him. Hey, show him Thunderbirds. Yeah, don't show Thunderbirds. Yeah. She never gets around to it. And it's free on YouTube. Oh, this kid would love Thunderbirds, right? It's really made for him, right? Because there's lots of cool repetitive stuff. Kids like cool repetitive, like the countdown. 5, 4, yeah. Thunderbirds are go dun 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 dun. Yeah, and they like the modules. Perfect for a 7-year-old. Oh, and also Doctor. Yeah, you're right, Chris Eccles. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. He told the teacher that Slovene were his fave because they farts. Yes, and that was Ralph C. Davis at his best, right? The reason he put Mickey being eaten by a bin is because he knew the bin day was on Monday. Right, the Monday after Doctor Who, the people will see all the bins out, and the kids' imagination will spark. And he had it so right. It's the gay shit. I'm sorry. Everything else it got right. No, I did watch this one. It was a decent episode. Yeah, I did. There's a lot of good. Well, there's a lot I'm going to share on it about. But generally speaking, there's a lot I thought was good. Losing me out here. Particularly some of the acting and some of the woke talking points. It was a normal episode, like in yes, it was unpretentious, wasn't trying to do anything. It was just being Doctor Who, right? Which is something it hasn't met for a long time, right? It's a bar it hasn't got up to for a long time. Peter Rich says, I'm starting to think Russell Davis shouldn't be writing for Doctor Who without a more experienced writer. Yeah, exactly. And also, he shouldn't really be writing. He needs to take a long break. Yeah, the woke mind virus, it does debilitate you, right? Miss Lisa Pertwee here is, hey there, Miss Lisa Pertwee. Peter Rich says, your boys in Rally Army, not more so. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. He literally contacted people I know, podcasters I know, saying, watch out, they will have you killed. You know why? Okay, and the story gets wilder. I put out a 1-minute video, a YouTube short, saying, happy birthday, Namble Shaban. I was like, literally, it was nice. And so he's done great stuff. And I recommended a couple of things. And I said, there's another thing called, he did this Devil Seeds of Dread. Wasn't really for me. But everything else, but I will go for that over there. He freaked out that I didn't think it was good. Right? And from that, he went to, I'm going to send my boys to assassinate him. I'm like, But that's really how he thinks. They're crazy. People are absolutely crazy. But we had the death character in Under the Lake before. Oh, you're right. Done better, making more sense. Good point. But yeah, the whole thing did feel like warmed over. But again, this is very very similar. Oh, Alien 3, problem being, you're absolutely right. Did everyone enjoy Alien 3, the creature thing from the Quatermass pit? Oh man, are you nailing it? Yes, that's really funny. I also put Event Horizon in there. But yes, and with such an unnecessarily large budget, they certainly should have filmed it in the same place. They Blake 7 filmed in the the power stations, right? I used to like those things, Blake 7. TARDIS Hours is here, but yeah, what do you call it again? We go back and see the comment. The Alien 3 creature thing from the Quatermass pit, just so much. Yes, it was very derivative, right? You saw another reaction video, even though I promised I wouldn't. Don't torture yourself, mate. Don't torture yourself. TARDIS Travels is here. I mean, there was one white guy. I'm going to talk about this, and he was in the background, and there were there to be killed. Yes, all the other men were killed. The only the most women, mostly white, survived. I know. In a lesbian lead and die for nothing. Well, I thought it was reasonably dramatic. Right, my first point of review is, did I think this would be entertaining to a normie? Right, and yes, I did, with a few reservations. But I don't think it's gonna. What do you think the overnights are gonna be? I mean, like we had, what was it down to? Went to 1.6 or something last week. Well, it was like really bad. Hang on, let's have a look. Doctor Who ratings. Oh, a key thump. EB ratings. Next week I'm very optimistic about. It's a Doctor Light episode, and written by Pete McTeague. So last week was 1.58. Blimey, that's low, isn't it? Right. I think this will be lower than that because I think it's getting squeezed and like beaten down. I think this will be lower than that. I think this will probably be something like 1.43 or something. I don't see the decline arresting. Although again, we'll find out tomorrow. I have no idea. I think 1.43 for now. Right, and that's not a reflection on the quality of it. I think I'll probably go back to. I think week after will be 1.67. Right, because I think this was a better quality episode. Yeah. What's up in the chat? There we go. What's going on? Queerlander, Dr. Hoolander. Yes. Yeah, it's not very doctor. I wouldn't want to be alone in the TARDIS with this guy. I really think he'll be giving me a blowjob while I'm in my bedroom. Like, what's going on? Oh, it's being friendly. No, don't be friendly. Don't be Michael Jackson friendly. You know the old joke. Why did Michael Jackson like 25-year-olds? Because there's 20 of them. They even started well when you're on to pedophilia joke. 41 minutes in. Love the fact JNT went on a 2-week holiday for location shoots for Yellow Fever. And only some video from the cable car. If he'd been around now, he could have done a world cruise. I know. Oh, JNT knew how to look after himself. Oh, Dr. Alex is here. I'm going to be reviewing the next two. I saw you sent me a message. I haven't listened yet. I'm going to be reviewing the next two episodes in this. My alternative to whatever this is, season 2. Season 14. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. Lonnie wrote an episode in it tonight, and Mick myself too. And when I say I did a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic. I'm always impressed with myself. How you doing, Dr. Alex? By the way, you wanna break the ice after lovemaking, right? After you reach sexual, you can see you get incredible information here on my channel. after we reach your sexual climax or satisfaction, right? As you're heaving, for breath, say, to announce that you were fantastic. Not you were. That I was fantastic. You were pretty good too, but I was great. That always goes down well, right? If you don't get a laugh out of that, try wiping your knob on the curtains, right? And that's bound to get a laugh. Bound to get a laugh. And may I say, if you're in the act of lovemaking, right, and Benny Hill is on and he says a funny joke, it doesn't matter how funny it is. You shouldn't laugh at it, right? And this is good advice. Tried, tested advice, and it'll hold you well. Let me tell you, it will do well. Anyway, how you doing, Dr. Alex? You're in Bremen now. Mini households emergency room. Well, I hope everything gets sorted out. It's so weird the episode airing so early. I keep thinking it's Sunday and hoping for the races to come out for a good laugh. Yes, it does. I think it's big. It doesn't strike me as having a lot of confidence behind it at the BBC. Glenn Piper's here. A very good story, but sadly is now too late. Yes, I agree with you completely, Glenn. Will the quality now improve right near the end? Some of us talking about the classic series. I don't think so. Like, again, the problem is an obsession with queerness, right? I mean, that's where everything coming from, and they can't give that up. It's not gonna. It's too late anyway. It's done. It's dead, right? Now it's the wobbly set Doctor Who that's embarrassing to watch. Right, it's embarrassingly woke, and people just don't watch it anymore because of it. Right, it's not cool to watch Doctor Who. Used to be, right? Totally used to be, but not anymore. Super Bob Gaming. Okay, Super Bob. The world was peak. I don't know what that means. I think that's complimentary, right? And I wouldn't disagree with you. It feels complimentary to me. Robert Payne is here. Robert Payne says, nah. Well, I don't blame you, Robert Payne. I think nah is probably the right response to most things. We're up to... it was all right from what I saw, but it's ripping off every other sci-fi base under siege, mate. Yeah. Except, again, why were they making sets? I don't know. That should have been a cheap location shoot. Right, that's something that should have been doable on any budget. Right, you could realize. I honestly, Verity Lambert could have realized that story on a 1960s budget. Right, I mean, they would have done it. Actually, they totally could. No monsters to make it cheap. Yeah, they're like, well, really? We're just going to go down to the power station and film for it. Sounds like we'll all be fine. Right, we need a junkyard. No problem. Right, it's yeah, it seems like it was very not needing of the huge budget whatsoever. I would say. Apparently, BSL exists as sign language, I guess, unchanged for 500,000 years. Well, maybe the TARDIS was translating that as well, right? That could be. Ward Junior's here. Not seen it yet. It's going to be shit. Yeah. See, I don't want to shit on it totally. Shooting at was unwashingly bad, least in this episode, right? This is the best most reined-in episode I've seen. Bobby D. I said, best shooting episode so far. It took a while to get. They didn't it? And it only got 10 minutes left. Again, being a shooting-like episode next week, which I believe it is, thank God. That's just good for Doctor Who. Fine, whizzing through the chat, trying to catch up. Where are we up to? Busy Portugal says, hi, Rabbi. Hello, Miss Lisa Portugal. The people are certifiable and they're destroying their own industry. They are. And that's why, again, may I recommend fan-made Doctor Who. It's fucking awesome. Right, this really feels like Doctor Who. This episode felt a bit like Doctor Who, I have to tell you. Didn't see the trailer. Gat was in it. I didn't see the trailer, but I think he's a blink and you miss it. Right? I don't think he's in it much. Entertainment Grace said it was an amazing episode. The season is amazing. Okay, good for you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate. Everyone gets is getting low rates because everyone is watching on iPlayer early. Yeah, no, that's not the reason, mate. That's not what the numbers say. Like, what's the name? It got I got iPlayer bump of 7 days of 1.57 million for Robot Revolution. I agree with you. This season is head and shoulders better than last season, right? But again, it only got a bump of 1.57 million. It's very low. That's lower than it was getting last year, right? It's not getting an audience on iPlayer. No, it's done. Look, it fucked itself in the arse. It's done. I'm sorry. You know, it was dumb that it fucked itself in the arse, right? And they probably enjoy fucking themselves in the arse, but it's done. Like, kids aren't watching. No one's watching it. It's a failure. Like, I'm sorry. Ethan Buckholder's here. Easily, thank you for joining us. But look, you got another minimally 5 episodes, then you got the War Between the Land and the Sea. It's not going, you got another like, 10 episodes of this shit. Thank God. Are you bringing the next 2 episodes there? Yes, I am. Yeah, hopefully. That's my plan. It felt like Doctor Who because it ripped off so many episodes. It was Creature from the Pit, Pit meets Midnight. Member. Lots of member bearers in it. Okay. Fine. All right, let's let's keep the sign of the thing up. Let's get into the. Actually, do you have any pictures from it? Let's pull up some pictures. That's probably a good way to start. We'll go doink. Doctor Who the World. Doctor Who the World. Again, look, it was. Instead of being forging the ground with woke, this was background woke, which is, I have to tell you, the best they've done, right? It really is the best they've done. God bless them. Just grab a few images. Doink, we'll get that one of Rosa. Actually, look, she wasn't bad, but she was very hard to understand. Again, I got to see who directed this episode. They did a really great job. The direction of this was phenomenal, right? It's really off the charts. Wish the writing was as good. That would have been fantastic, right? You can't have everything. Hang on. Even a reasonably good, I won't say cliffhanger, like pre-title scene. Right, there's a lot good about this episode. There you go, bit of Doctor Who stuff. Well, not really, sadly. Hang on, doink. Fine. So, one thing I'm finding reasonably charming is how each episode goes right into the next one. It feels very much like the Hartnell era. Right, and I find that very charming, right? Anyone see Michelle Obama Predator? No, I haven't. That's a kind of godbizing. It's kind of terrifying. I kind of feel late for Who at the moment, a bit like a kid in 1985 turning up to a kid's party with flares and your mum's your mum's ironed the knee patches. Yeah, that's where Doctor Who is right now. Never. Right, it's Doctor Who's sad now. But again, so I find it. So they're still in the 1950s, though, and I realized, but I was like, well, why on earth was it set in the 1950s America in Miami? Other than it was kind of cool, right? I think the reason why is to talk about the racism of the time, right? I can't see any other advantage they had from that. Anyway, so they're still in the same clothes, which I like. And they can't get home. And here's the thing. Look, Ncuti has been portrayed as being massively incompetent the entirety of his time, right? Who's somehow insanely confident in his own choices, right? And thinks he's fantastic. And again, he's just relentlessly incompetent and doesn't know what to do. Also, he just shares nothing of the Doctor at all, right? I can't imagine the Doctor doing any of the shit he does, right? There's lots of gay shit, right? So anyway, they do a clothes change again, and again, it's very, very camp, very, very gay, right? Now, if that's your shtick, it's a bad idea. But if that was your stick, should have had your stick. It should have been your stick from the beginning. Like each week, what's he going to wear this week? That should have been. But that he goes back and wears the same thing. It doesn't really work, right? You should add no template rather than occasional. Doesn't really work, right? I think you maybe should have changed the clothes every week. So they changed. They're in the future, 500,000 years in the future, right? They get bounced off. They try and go to 2025. They get bounced off 2025, and at 500,000 years in the future. And so they go and get changed again. And they get changed into these spacesuits, right? Which are exactly the same as the spacesuits everybody else is wearing. So for me, that was like just a big plot hole, right? It was a really major plot hole. Like they could have written around it with like a word of dialogue, right? So it was a real mistake, right? And again, it threw me out of it straight away. But then we're into quite a good, pre-title tease, because it's very similar to working out what they're ripping off through this is kind of fun. But that's kind of what's going on here. What's that Tom Cruise movie where every time he dies he gets respawn? Live, die, repeat. I can't remember the name. But there's a scene in it where they drop him on the beach in this battle suit, and he doesn't know what he's doing. So it opens up. They all of a sudden they step out the TARDIS, and all these people wearing exactly in spacesuits line up around them, and the sergeant over there tells you, put your helmet on. They're like, oh, okay, we'll put our helmets on, and then drop, and the ground drops beneath them, and they fall out. Right. I thought that it works as a pre-title thing because it's fun. Right. Yeah. It puts you in jeopardy, but you don't think they're going to die horribly. But yeah, reasonably fun. Man, it's really they used this location a million times before. This is the same location they used for the Sisterhood of Karn, and I think the first time we saw it was the interior of the Sycorax ship. Right, but they've used this a lot before. Satan Pit. So the shtick is he has this season is he keeps trying to get back to Earth, and so he goes to the Vindicator. It seems like a very silly word, but the Vindicator to connect them back to Earth. I'm like, okay. And they've done to get to go to it bounces off. Right, so they're there. Then it gets very Aliens. What's the name? Not Minority Report. What am I thinking of? Event Horizon, right? As they're there to there's a mining base that went silent 2 weeks ago, right? And they're there to investigate. So they go in and essentially everybody's dead. That again, that's all. It was a very enjoyable stuff, right? Again, shooting out was just really annoying. As soon as they get inside the base, he takes his armor jacket off and says, "Oh no, we don't want to do that." And they tell him not to do that. And they, "Oh no, we come in peace." But okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm nitpicking the performance there. I'm being a bit of a dick because it's not really noticeable as I regard. I'll do the deep dive review tomorrow. I'm like, it's my first reactions. So they go looking around the base. Everybody's dead. Everybody's been killed, and they finally meet. Was there a Rose Island, whatever her name is, right? What is her name? Hang on, it says on the thumbnail. Rose Ailing Ellis, right? And she's the last survivor. And look, essentially, they separate Shooty off, and they're left alone with one or two people. Vrada Sethu left alone with one or two people. Vrada Sethu, again, looks like fucking hot through all of this. And she's just relentlessly stunning, right? And look, these spacesuits, and again, why aren't they the orange spacesuits, right? It's like, oh, I better get something skin tight for Shooty. So fine. So they the Shooty and the captain and everybody heads off to the bridge or whatever it is, while what's her name? Belinda, who's calling Belle now, which actually finally works. Although again, it doesn't really, because it just makes him so everyday and boring, right? He really is. She stays with her because she's a nurse and they want to help her. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot, again, kind of smart stuff. There's like this little hologram thing that comes out from their chest or comes out from their nipple, where it says what they're saying, right? So she can read it, so they don't need. And he knows how to sign. Obviously, sign language hasn't changed, but again, I don't want to nitpick about that. Again, I can say the TARDIS is translating. And she's like the last one behind. Anyway, so while Shooty goes off to the bridge, and the scene going to the bridge is just like the scene from Event Horizon where they get the laws to work, right? Something freaky came out the mine and they're all dead now, right? Fine. But you get some really good horror, spooky stuff while she's alone with Belinda and the two Marines. They're again directed. Who directed this episode? Because again, they knocked it out the park. 100% knocked it out the park. Hang on, Doctor Who, The Well. We have a episode guide. I just do Doctor Who episode guide. Episode guide. Doink. Yeah, directed by Amanda Brocci. She's awesome. I don't see her name anywhere else. She's really good. Okay, totally nailed it. What else has she done? Okay, you've now intrigued me, Amanda Brocci. Or Bocci. Looking her up. Amanda Brocci, born in Melbourne, Victoria, is an Australian director known for Picnic at Hanging Rock. Really? Girl Boss Load. Really? She can't be that old. Yeah. Wow. I mean, like, she did Gentleman Jack, which again is transy history thing. I'm not really interested. I see director. Yeah, it's certainly a Renegade now, Gentleman Jack. She did a TV show, Picnic at Hanging Rock. Okay, my mistake. I don't see anything else that really leaps out from her resume. She did a good job with this one, right? She did a really good spooky horror job with this one, right? Because there's this was like the something at the corner of her eye thing, but it was actually realized a lot better. There was like something behind her. And at first he shot it like Belinda, like turns and he played the music like there was something behind her. So that worked, right? And then it happened another time. And then there's like, when you look behind her, suddenly you see something just duck behind her, like at the corner of your eye. It's very well done, right? It's very, very well done. So there's something weird hiding behind her. Back in the bridge, the doctor finally realizes, it's because the TV's a Picnic Hammer with beautifully directed. She's really good. Get her for as much as you can, okay? She is a real talent, right? Did he cry? Yes. Oh, God, so much crying. Oh. Again, he thinks that's a shtick. It's a bad idea. Oh, Paul Thurston loves that. Lots of crying. I saw an American reactor and a bit where of the start where was changed from "your mum can whistle at my behind" to some muffled alternative. Okay, then. Okay, fine. So what's going on? Yeah. So there's something behind her. You at this point you notice quite how big finishy diverse the Space Marines are, they're virtually all women and all black. There's a few white people, right? But very, very, very like, that you can't have anybody in authority who's not a lesbian, apparently, right? Lesbians rule the future, right? But they all come rushing back for some reason. Shooty realized he's been on this planet before. He realized that it was a planet from Midnight. There's a very clunky callback to that, where you see David Tennant and the woman from Midnight. It doesn't really work at all. You shouldn't have actually done the callback, right? But again, I think the core of the idea is the midnight creature not being able to attack a deaf person, which and again, I just don't think they came up with the best idea for that. But okay, so eventually you get the Space Marines back, and they'll say there's something behind it, right? And they're like, it's like Tim Nielsen just said, did you notice the one male soldier with the robotic leg? No, I didn't notice the robotic leg. I know, just like future with no, they don't have men, they have men. Right? Okay, so they start circling around, right, to see if there's anybody behind her. They're all getting a sense of behind her. And finally, when somebody gets directly behind her, he goes, and he flies out, right? He's it's a bit like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where he's like, what is your name? Right? And he says the wrong answer. Boom, they get so there. And the Doctor realizes that the planet, I forgot about this, used to be called Midnight. And then anybody standing at midnight behind her, essentially, so directly behind the midnight position on the hands of the clock, they get zapped by this monster. All right. So, and then she says, look, the monster came to everybody first, and she ended up with her because basically she couldn't hear. That's how she ended up being the last survivor. And again, it's a bit. I had to put the subtitles on to understand her a couple of times. God bless her. But again, I thought that the idea was a deaf person can't really be attacked. They didn't actually follow through with that, right? So then the Doctor has a plan. I don't really remember what it was. It's a dumb plan. Now I'm thinking about it. It was a dumb plan. It was something. All the mirrors were destroyed. So he gets them to shoot the pipe behind them, which has mercury in it, and so it causes a waterfall of mercury, which is essentially a mirror, so they can see the creature behind it, but you never see the creature. But it causes it. Then everybody says, "Everybody run!" Right, and they run, and they get 6 people out or something, and there's 4 of them left, like the stunning and brave lesbian captain, Dr. Queer, Belinda, and one other person, I think. Yeah. And they know the creature, like when the creature loses one person, it goes right onto the next person. Right? So they can't let the creature out. So the creature's logged onto Belinda. And the Doctor says, "No, come to me. Then you can go through all the time and space." I'm like, why are you saying that? And so they somehow the stunning and brave lesbian captain gets the creature on her, and she runs, and then she impersonates the end of Alien 3 by sacrificing herself down the well, so the creature won't get out, right? And then they leave, I guess, I can't remember. After all the girl boss stuff and the Alien 3 Ripley death scene, they didn't check if it had been killed before they get all cocky. Yeah, so then they have a very standard horror movie ending, all right, where I can't take him seriously as a doctor. I got to have something skin tight, please. Don't give me the orange spacesuit. That would be weird. Why? Oh yeah, why would you do that? Okay, no. So I guess they go. Belinda and the Doctor go. They get to the TARDIS eventually. Oh, right, no, I forgot. Hey, it was so stupid. So the lesbian captain was also the bestest shot in the universe. And so the monster gets caught on Belinda. And so because she's such a good shot, she can shoot her through the heart or just above the heart, that she can be revived by the med kit. But that will get the creature off her. Right. And then the creature latches onto the stunning brave lesbian captain, and then she throws herself into the well. Okay, fine. But then you have you have one survivor. What about the six that got out before? You have the one survivor, and so you say, well, everything's sorted out then. It was all good. And the person looking after her in their space station, wherever it is, starts looking behind her. Is that behind you? Right? And I'm like, well, it doesn't really work there, because if there is, it's the end of all life in the creatures got out at that point, right? It's very bad, right? It's not ambiguous, right? An ambiguous ending. So there's a lot good about this episode, particularly the direction, right? The script had too many coincidences in it and just a lot on stuff that didn't make sense. The core idea, I think, was a strong one. I think the budget was spent unwisely without getting much back for it, right? What I recommend, okay, normally watching this would probably be entertained if they weren't put off by Rose Ellis Eiling and Ncuti Gatwa, which they could well have been, right? That's a very likely situation. I am. So I normally probably look at this and go, yeah, okay, whatever. Actually, we'll probably enjoy it in places. It's genuinely spooky in places. Ratchets up the thrills, the scares. So by far, it's the best episode they've done. It's not even close. I couldn't recommend it, right? I wouldn't recommend it. I can understand why Normas wouldn't hate it. That's essentially my initial review of it, my initial recollection. Very derivative, very, modern day cringe, but God bless them. God bless them and all that so with them. So let's talk about Doctor Who. Let us take you a deep dive review of the latest episode of Doctor Who, where they didn't fuck up too badly, right? I hate the Whoniverse, right? This is a tainted brand. Okay, so this is good and bad. I like that these episodes are seamless. They go from one to another, right? It feels very Hartnell-esque. I really enjoy. However, Ncuti Gatwa I can't stand. So he's trying to get her back to 2025. He knows that 2020. May 24th, when the penultimate episode airs, that's when the world is destroyed. We've been teased this a few times, so they keep trying to get there. And my God, she looks so hot for her to see through, right? I mean, and she's a good actress as well, but she's so freaking hot. Living Daylights was okay, that. And the good character when she's like, look. Okay, there's good and bad going on at the same time. Shooter's like saying, I promise I'm going to get you home. I promise. I don't trust him. He doesn't know shit. He's like, well, I think so. So she's like not encouraged by his lack of confidence, right? And he's like, I promise you, Belinda, that I will get you. This guy is full of shit. I wouldn't trust a word coming out of his bloody mouth. So no, I don't believe it. And so they're going to try and go somewhere next and use the Vindicator, which I think is a stupid name, to get a fix on 2025, right? And so she gets excited. They get to change clothes again. And look, if this is their shtick every week, it'd be one thing. But so there's a real dumb thing that happens over here.
Last. Come on.
So, honestly, if this was a shtick from the beginning, where each episode he changes clothes, right? He's got a different. That would have no, it wouldn't have worked, right? It wouldn't have worked, but it would have been far superior to what we had, right? And again, if they just made him not overtly super gay, Travis Russell Davis can't see that as a detriment. He's like, whoa, no, you should be getting used to probably being gay. We've had to see straight people. That's because we're 97% of the fucking population, you dumb fuck. Oh, yes. It's strange that when you live in a place where 97% of the people are like that, you get you do tend you do tend to lean heavily into that 97%. Look, again, I grew up and everybody said Happy Christmas, and I'm Jewish, right? My life was fine. Nothing bad happened. It wasn't hard, right? Peter Richards saying the Babylon 5 version of Bukowski's, he said it did it for the fans. You're talking about the cartoon thing they did, which was very good. The Road Home. I hope they were going to do more. I thought that was actually very good. And I do hope they do more. Anyway, so yeah, this is his new stick now. He gets a costume on. So this is a really big plot hole, which kind of threw me out of it. And that to me is poor writing. When a plot hole distracts you from the plot, then you're annoyed. So they go out, they leave the TARDIS, and they're wearing these spacesuits, not the ones where, and everybody else is wearing exactly the same spacesuit, right? And they're like, hi, what's going on? And they're all dressed identical. It makes no sense, right? But okay, whatever. You know what else makes no sense? What's his name? Guthrie. Was it the woman who was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, right? It's really weird. What is her name? This is a bit of a segue, but this is really worse because in the last couple of weeks, there's been Virginia Guthrie, right? There's been several really weird stories about her. Firstly, she said that she had 4 days to live and suffering from septic shock or something because she was in a car crash, and the guy in the car crash said, no, that never happened, right? And then there was another thing saying that she was in a domestic abuse situation for many years. And then there was another story that she's dead. She killed and dead through suicide. I don't think she was dead through suicide. Right? Look, there's the Epstein files coming out. They got delayed. They're very powerful people who are stand to lose a lot through her testimony. Right? I think there's a lot. I don't know what's going on, but something weird was going on there. Anyway, what's weird going on here is you actually have quite a good teaser. That other than the costume thing that didn't make any sense, right? They could have had a line saying the TARDIS scanned. This is what people are wearing, or something like that, right? And so they're in some kind of space marine things. Everybody puts their helmets on, and then she's like, and then it's very well. Hopefully, Big Finish is coming out of this now, but it's hopefully it's very current day Big Finish in that. Oh god, this starting and brave space marines are led by a lieutenant lesbian, and nobody's white and male. It's just stupid. So I would say very good cliffhanger where they're like, okay, everybody get ready, drop! And yeah, that I think is a good cliffhanger. Not cliffhanger, teaser. So yeah, again, you gotta reward, if I'm gonna shit on it when it's shit, I gotta say, oh, this is when they do something good, when they do something entertaining, I gotta say it, right? Peter Rich said they should have used the orange oxygen. Well, it goes back to what's the name? The Impossible Planet, isn't it? Right, this one up here. Hang on. That's it. We'll put your helmet on there, David. This one, right? The one we all know. Hang on. Yeah, although this one does show up at the very end of the episode, right? But like, this is so endemic with Doctor Who now. But I guess it's what's the issue? Shooty Shooty has a very good arse, and he wanted to put a tight spandex suit on it, essentially, right? That's what was going on. Come add to stage. There you go. So again, I think very good tease, and then we're out the titles, and they're falling, and their jetpacks come on. I have to say again, the production values in this I find so good, but I'm also unnecessarily good. This is a story I think that could have been realized by Verity Lambert, right? More in 1963 in a better way than like was it the Web Planet, right? The Zabi one would. I think this is a very easy story to realize, inexpensively, and they do it very, very expensively. So they land on a planet, and he wants to get these readings, and they're about to shoot him, and he uses the psychic paper. And the psychic paper is, I would say, such a great invention that modern Who has brought to Doctor Who. And I think that one has really worked, right? Shooty couldn't have shown off his ass in the orange spacesuit. Yeah, that's the issue. That is 100% the issue, right? A lot of this is about Ralph C. Davis wanting to have a wank, right? A lot of it, right? A lot of it. God. Yeah, Shooty, can you stop looking so shit as a Doctor? So he pulls out the psychic paper, and he calls him into telling what's going on. So apparently the ship's going to take 5 hours to land, and they're there to... It's aliens, right? At this point, there's a colony that's gone silent. They've come to check it out, and this episode is very derivative of a lot of very good science fiction. Now, is that a bad thing? Is it derivative? Is it homage? Is it any? Okay, so sound like Brain and Morbius is a homage to Frankenstein. Is that derivative or is it a homage? Right? Is this derivative of Aliens or is it a homage? I'm gonna say homage. Right? That's what it seems like to me. It seems like it knows what its influences is, and I think who made the point last night? I think Dan made the point last night. An 8-year-old isn't going to know Event Horizon or Aliens or any of these things, right? They're just going to go, this is cool. And he's absolutely right. This is cool, right? Other than Shooty Gatwa. So off they go to the facility. And again, I really wish they shot it in a power station in Battersea, because you can see these sets are excellent sets. Built very well, but they're all sets, right? And I just think this is money wasted. This could have been done on location, I think, much, much cheaper. So they take off their like breastplate thingies and like, no, we're pacifists. We don't want those on. They're like, yeah, you might want to think about keeping those on. But he's a white male, so the white males are essentially designed to be twats in this, right? Well, that 8-year-old is very uneducated in the realms of sci-fi. No, because it will. I think you will be opened up to checking it out, right? Same with again the Hinchcliffe Holmes era did the same thing with classic horror. Well, 5. So they get into the station and they're all dead, right? They're all dead, Dave. They're dead, Dave. Are they dead, Dave? They're all dead, Dave. Can I do that clip? Because it's essentially the same clip. Just, I prefer the Red Dwarf version. Oh, come on, let's think about it. Really? This should be much... Hang on a second. Red Dwarf. It will be the... It'll be the pilot episode, wouldn't it? Episode 6, season 1. The end. There you go.
Haven't we just got Alistair?
Everybody's dead, Dave.
What, Todd Hunter?
Everybody's dead, Dave.
What, Selby?
They're all dead. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Peter Peterson isn't, is he?
Everybody is dead, Dave.
So that's what happens when he gets to the. That's what I mean about being somewhat derivative.
Okay, no, sorry.
Again, Veronic's very good. Her character is very believable as a nurse. And I find this character consistent, right? Which is good. There was a really annoying bit early when Shooter was doing his normal, very irritating gay shit. Said, "Hey, babes, hey," he's like, "You shouldn't call military officer babes." Okay, Han. Oh, fuck off. I mean, it's just again, Rossi just doesn't realize that's annoying. Right, that's not fun. That's not quite. It's just annoying. By the way, I went to this like 100% certain that it would be a sequel to Midnight. Right, I was like, I had no question in my mind. That's a stunning and brave Lieutenant Lesbian. So they go looking around the base, and they find one person alive, and it's Rose Ailing Ellis, who was very good. Again, also very good. Right, you were, yeah. I really can't put it. And again, I really put a lot of credit on the director. I looked up her name last night, but she hasn't directed Doctor Who before. Definitely knows what they're doing. Right, was able to ratchet up the tension and make this into a interesting, spooky affair. Right, I was really, really genuinely impressed. Planet Quarry, says Matthew Powder. Yeah, well, I kind of like that. And it all starts with that. It's the same. I recognize the Quarry. It's the same one they use for the Sisterhood of Khan. And they've used it a bunch of times. Like, I recognize because, honestly, it's the same as like the Millennium Stadium. I remember by the time they hit season 3, they used it like 17 times. Right? It was just like, yeah, no, I recognize that now. So, Rose Ailing Ellis, again, I believe this entire episode was written from the kernel of the idea that the deaf person would interact very differently with the entity from Midnight, right? I think that came from the young writer, whoever her name is. And honestly, she did herself proud. I think she's going to get more work off this, and she deserves more work off this. This is really good for her resume, right? Literally, the best episode of Doctor Who in 8 years. I mean, honestly, so I think I hope this isn't a fluke, right? I hope that she's able to keep writing to this level. Honestly, my real hope is that they decide to make Doctor Who normal again, like for people, like normal people, not queer. When I say normal queer, if you're part of 3%, you're not normal, right? Normal means you're the majority, right? That's what the word means. But there's and the talent they've discovered in the last 8 years, which there is some. Obviously, this writer, obviously this director, they keep using them. The director for Even the Daleks was also excellent as well. Made that piece of shit actually quite enjoyable. I think it was Mr. H who commented that the next 400,000 years, where they've made so much progress, they still won't overcome deafness. Again, I'm not going to nitpick, right? That seems dickish to be for dickish sake, right? But sadly for Rose, we've done the deaf character before. But why do offset human colonists have still a disability? Again, yeah, look, it's a nitpick. In 400,000 years in the future, it's a bit silly. But they're telling a story, right? And that's something I like about this, and they're actually telling a story, which you very rarely get. So she's the last survivor, and she's terrified. She has no idea what's going on. And she says like that's her friend who tried to kill her, so she killed her first, and she's generally speaking a bit flawed. Again, I wish this was the first episode. I honestly, where I hadn't learned that Shooty Dick Gatwa is a self-obsessed twat, because now he's like smiling and looking. This would work if he hadn't undermined himself for like the past 2 years, which he has done. So now I just see him like being creepy and ineffective rather than being reassuring, right? He signs, and again, I wish he could smile without looking so smug, All right, and so he's like, "What's going on?" They're trying to work it out. Then we get this really kind of cool bit of tech where they they have that little thing projected from them, and it says the text of what they're saying, right? So they can sign, right? So again, not much is happening. They try and work out what's going on. It's mainly character stuff. He goes with the rest of the crew to the bridge, and again, so this is a homage, a repeat of the scene in Event Horizon, where they finally get the logs working and they see everybody going crazy, and yeah, they get the logs working, and everybody goes crazy. Go, what is it? What is it? And finally, I think it twigs. Shooting Gatwa, they say this planet used to be covered in diamonds, but it's all they're all gone now. Oh, so but yeah, so and so he hasn't twigged what the planet is yet. This is really good. Okay, again, this is what I was saying about good directions. There's moments where Varela Series goes like big scary music, and there's nothing there. Is this one of those moments? No, it's just before this. Yeah, one sec. There we go.
Have you ever heard of?
Oh, that was right here. Let's see if I can stop on that for a second. That was really cool because you just see something behind her head. I didn't notice that the first time.
Have you ever heard of?
Yeah, can you see just behind her head a black shape? That's really freaky. And it vanishes. Yes, that is freaky. Well done. Again, well done. Yeah, I always bitch when things are bad. I gotta say when things are good. And look, that's really advice for life. I would say to all of you. Let's say you're in a restaurant. People always complain about this or that in restaurants. Let's say you get something that's good. Can you say, could you tell the kitchen this is fantastic, right? Thank them very much. It makes life better for for everybody, right? So yeah, so she's like, I thought I saw something, and she's freaking out, right? And then it happens again, and they're also looking around, what's going on? And so they're trying to work out what's going on. Oh, and also, yeah, she's a nurse, so they bring her a med kit, and she has no idea how the med kit works in the future. So the person from there says you just make this up and put this paste on it, right? So yeah, so in on the bridge or whatever, and again, that they built all this and weathered it and made it cost a fortune. They could have done this a lot fucking cheaper doing this on location. Fine. So yeah, so they're so there's more like creepy jump scares, like what's going on behind her. Again, building up nicely, right? And so they're all like, again. It's so 2025 having this mostly female, non-binary, non-white male Marine crew, right? It's so current day. It's gonna be like Joe Grant wearing massive bell bottoms and platforms in 20 years. Miss H is so a-hole. Apparently NFL teacher. Well, they do something that's go together. So is there something behind there? Isn't there? They're trying to work out. And again, that they're not sure. This guy looks really familiar. Although I'm not sure if he looks familiar because he looks really like what's the name of the character? He was also in EastEnders. That was from the Runaway Bride. He's got a very similar expression to him, right? I mean, he's several shades lighter. So they start like circling around her, right? And oh yeah, and at the same time they decode everything, see what happened. And the doctor finally twigs. They said, look, this planet used to be covered in diamonds. So what this planet used to be called, and there's like, I think the old designation was Midnight, right? And honestly, I think this is, people are saying this is nice and subtle. I think this is too obvious. You get a couple of stills of David Tennant and whatever her name is, it was referencing back to Midnight, right? And honestly, when David Tennant cried in Midnight, it was really scary because he never cries. But like Shooting Gat were doing it carries no weight, right? Even though this is a good episode, it's still struggling under the failures, right, of its previous the failures of its previous mistakes, which are quite many and varied. So again, that they have this build up over something is very good. So they start circling around her to see if there's is anything really behind her, right? And then and so now he knows that the planet's called Midnight, and he's been there before. But again, I would say it will be better had they not done that. And if you know, you know, and then you could go back and look on iPlayer and see, go and see it if you haven't seen it before. And again, he's Captain Douchebag because he's a white male, not stunning and brave lesbian. And I do like the tech where they have their what they're saying appear. Now, people are complaining like, oh, what? Hasn't sign language changed in the last 400,000 years? Just in the same way the TARDIS translates all this, they could translate the sign language, right? I really have no problem with that whatsoever. Matt, so they really slept this out. They build this up over a long time, right? Where they circle around her, and when you get directly behind her, somebody gets killed. Yeah. See if we get that. Right. And Shooty instantly works out when you're at the midnight position, right? So they know this entity is now playing with them somewhat, right? And it wants to attach itself to someone to get off the planet. So and again, she does terrified really well, and she's very believable, right? And even Shooty Gat was very reined in. It just doesn't strike me as a doctor. Like, if I walked in blind, I'm like, who's the doctor in this? I would have thought it'd be Belinda. I think she's more doctory, right? Yeah, he seems more Stephen Taylory. So she said, yeah. So she's saying like, I'm the last person this entity attached itself to. Only cries a bit now. Yeah, it doesn't work, mate. I'm sorry. And I get this was his acting choice, where he thought it would be a good idea, and he does it every week. And Rusty Davis commented and saying, "Oh, it's all marvelous, it's fantastic." We wouldn't tell him not to do that. Well, that was a mistake, Russell. I maybe should have told him not to be so bloody gay. So then he has an idea of how to save the day. I can't really remember what it is. Right? What's he saying there? So yeah, he starts talking directly to it. And you hear so he has a cunning plan. He sees all the mirrors have been destroyed, and so he gets them to shoot the pipe behind them, which is carrying mercury, which creates a mirror, revealing the creature, which is a bad thing for some reason, and it freaks out, and I think it kills a bunch. Does it kill a bunch of people there? Oh yeah, and they say run, right? You can only get like 6 people into the escape pod or something. I can't remember. They see it come. Oh yeah, so they get her in the traditional the Impossible Planet suit as they all get out, and then there's 4 left. Shooty, whoever she is, Belinda, and Lieutenant Lesbian, right? And they work out the creature is now attached to Varada Sethu, to Belinda, and she's been the Lieutenant Lesbian has been established as the best shot in the galaxy, of course, because that's what it's always like that, right? So she's going to shoot her just above the heart. Oh, I forgot. We have this whole subplot going on that nobody has heard of Earth or remembers it or anything. And so they're finally working out that Earth is not there. they're going to shoot her right above the heart, then bring her back, and so the creature will attach to somebody else. Firstly, the doctor says, "You can attach to me and go through time and space and kill everyone." I'm like, well, that's a Jodie level plan, right? That is a very Jodie level plan. So she shoots him, and then she runs. What is it? Everything on fire. Oh, she remembers being a kid running when everything was on fire, and the creature attached to her, and they homage the end of Alien 3, where Ripley throws herself down into the well. I mean, it even kind of looks like that. And again, the sacrifice of Flesh and Stone and Time of the Angels, right? The sacrifice that in Glenn, wasn't it? Who played the soldier guy, right? That was just so much more powerful and meaningful because he's a male, right? And he more naturally fits into that role, right? So she throws herself down and shoots no, like every week. And they bring Varada Sethu back. So she knows that nobody's heard of Earth now. And he knows that nobody, and they're reasonably worried. She gets out, right, and it's somewhat of a she gives a report to Anita Dobson. She's in every episode. She's a big bad. She's rumored to be a bi-generated Rani, so there's going to be 2 Ranis at the end. I think that'd be such a stupid idea, but she is very interested in that they're using the Vindicator to get to Earth. Okay, fine. And then you have a very traditional horror movie ending where this character goes, "Wait, is this like behind you?" Right? But indicating the creature might be attached to her, which will be like the death of everyone. Wait, the black one's the only survivor? What about the other people who got out beforehand? I thought they survived. Didn't Rose Eiling Ellis get out first? I don't know, but anyway, listen. I'll be honest with you. I found this ending to be somewhat unsatisfying in that it's not. This could be the end of all life, in the universe. And then we get Ruby Sunday Mac. She's got weird hair now.
Hey, you ever had a boyfriend?
Like her hair is just really. It's a wig. It must be a wig. This is the famous Ruby's boyfriend episode. I think this is hopefully wrapping up her story arc, because what I think happened was that several things at once, right? I think that she was demonstrably far superior to Ncuti Gatwa on screen, right? And I think that was a big problem. She's straight and white, right? And they wanted a non-white TARDIS team. And apparently she was out all night drinking as well. Whatever. I don't know what I doubt that happened, but whatever. Right? I don't know. That was the rumor. At the same time, Varada Sethu shows up, and she's very good, right? For Boom, and I think that's how she ended. Millie Gibson ended up being fired, and Varada Sethu ended up becoming the companion, right? But yeah, look, I mean, it's a bit of a shit show of firing. Don't want to tell you. But look, generally speaking, this episode is written by Pete McTeague, and I believe it's a Ncuti Light episode. Thank God, right? Absolutely, thank God. That's a very good thing, right? That is a very, very good thing. Hang on 1 second. Where's it? I've got a bunch of stuff to look at. So yeah, look, people have been greeting this like it's the second coming. I don't think it's a good idea to look at that way. I honestly, what's this tweet over here? Stephen W. Moff says, "Don't go online, don't listen to anything, don't read anything. Just brace yourself for a classic. Blink, Long's Day, maybe ever." I just think you're excited because this is the first time you've seen competent Doctor Who in a long time, right? In a long, long, long time. Right. But honestly, I think this is going to do very well for the series, right? I mean, already the ratings came out, the overnights came out, and they're better than last week, which is interesting to me, actually. I think it was the FA Cup lead-in that probably helped it, right? But it's certainly, I mean, it's very low still. It's the second lowest overnight of all time. It's so, there is that. And I'm going to be intrigued to see what the bump is on iPlayer for the 7-day rating for the episode 2. But I predict that episode 4 will have a above 2 million overnight based on the strong showing from this episode. And then if Shooty Gatwa really isn't in it much and next episode is quite good, I think episode 5, which will be the is episode 5 Eurovision in space? I think so. Hang on. Let's have a quick look. Oh, come back. Do Doctor Who episode guide. Doctor Who episode guide. What else we got coming this So Lucky Day. Oh, the story of the engine. That's week 5. Now, I don't know. Maybe that'll be good. The quality of this episode has got me thinking they might stick the landing, right? They might very well stick the landing in this one. Because last year they didn't at all, right? But I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But again, look. It's always the next week that's more important. So what was it? So I don't think the fan scene, which people were so upset about, really hurt it that much at all. So I don't think. Honestly, I don't think maybe what we're watching, but I think probably the cartoon villain got good word of mouth and brought more people in, right? So I wouldn't be at all surprised if the bump for Lux is higher than the bump that the Robot Revolution got. We'll have to wait and see. But again, as long as they keep putting out stories that aren't in your face, annoyingly queer, and competently done, vaguely entertaining, I think that you will see the ratings go in a different direction. I think you'll see the ratings go up. I don't see. Look, best case scenario, I don't see them getting above 2.5 million overnight. I just don't, right? Let's have a look at the second Doctor Who ratings from last year. Yeah, I mean, I doubt I doubt it'll get up to 2.62, which was its highest. Right? But yeah, I think it's toast. Bottom line, I think it's toast. I just don't think it can. I don't know. Can it survive in this television landscape? Because it's not doing great at all now, is it? Yeah, 1 second. There we are. More important though is the audience share, and it actually gets a lot worse. So Britain Got Talent got 35%. Now Doctor Who, when it was good, got between 30 and 40%. When it was really good, what was the one? Not Doomsday, End of the World. I can't remember. It was the one where Rose came back. That got a 42 or 44% audience share. So that did very well. Britain Got Talent got 35%. The 1% Club got 30%. Match of the Day, 29%. Doctor Who, it's a fourth rated thing of the day, 15.3%. It's wait a minute. How did Casualty get more of it? And it's Doctor Who's in the 4th place. Well, these aren't. No, it's not in its 4th place. It's in 6th place. Casualty and 99 to Beat got more than it. Oh no, it's interesting. So Casualty got a lower overnight, but a larger audience share. Look at that. They should do this in by audience share, not by overnight, because I think that's far more important, right? But again, look, I think it's next week is the question, right? How's it going to do next week? Is the question, and generally speaking, it's not doing well at all. I think that's a fair summation. It's not doing well at all. This is interesting. Grok, which is the chat GPT built into Twitter, which is I find far superior. So somebody asked about the ex-post from @Heuronomy, who I have no idea who they are, on April 26, 25, passionately claimed that the recent released season 2, referring to 2025 season, also known as season 15 of the revived era starring Shooter Gatwa as the 15th Doctor, is a major success and the best Doctor Who has been in a long time. Well, that might be true, frankly. Now, this is a subjective opinion, and we look at more objective metrics like viewership and critical reception to assess its success, right? So let's see what this AI has to tell us. For the 2025 series, come back here. Now I've lost where it is. It's over there. For the 2025 season, viewership data indicates a challenging picture. The premiere episode, Robot Revolution, had an overnight rating of 2 million viewers, which is the lowest ever for a Doctor Who episode. The second episode dropped to further 1.58 overnight viewers, marking the lowest overnight viewership in the show's 6-year history. I think the 2 million also. However, the plus 7-day consolidated, it came up to 3.58, though still represents an 11% drop from season 1 premiere. Man, that's his first episode. Was the season 1 premiere? Wait, was that the season 1 premiere? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So it's not going in the right direction. And I've lost my place again. And a 3% drop. 3% drop from the season 1 finale. Not good. These numbers suggest that while some viewers are watching via iPlayer, the overall live audience has significantly declined, which could indicate waning immediate interest or a shift of viewing habits to early iPlayer strategy. No, it's not. It's just people aren't watching it. There's the bottom line. People are just not watching it. Why are they not watching it? Because these are the people that it's made for, right? This you should all change your core beliefs, so I should fit in. This is part of that propaganda, right? So, not a success, right? I would say not a success. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.